Airona is one of the first characters we meet in Blue Protocol's Star Resonance. She's initially characterized as carefree, irresponsible, and morally questionable. But as the story unfolds, we see hints of something else. Something that suggests she will play a major role going forward. In this video, we'll cover what we know about Airona, but just from Chapter 1. We'll avoid major story spoilers, but we will be discussing the main story and some side quests, just to the extent that is necessary to learn about her. However, we'll be starting with the quest where she doesn't make an appearance at all. In the side quest, Secrets of the Ruined City, we look for a man named Grace. He's gone missing in the ruins of an ancient Befarian city. In the world of Star Resonance, the Befarians are a lost civilization that left behind highly advanced technology. For reasons we have not yet found, they abandoned the planet long ago. Most scholars believe they had no contact with humanity before leaving, but modern human society, and the city of Asterleeds in particular, is built on their legacy. Grace entered the ruins in hopes of learning the secrets of Befarian technology. Since all prosperous human settlements rely on it, being able to craft it from scratch instead of needing to find it in ruins would be a significant upgrade. However, he can't help but notice that the city was unmistakably destroyed in a war. How, he wonders, could a city protected by the godlike Befarians be destroyed in any war? In addition to the destroyed buildings, the area is swamped in a dark mist. Anyone who lingers too long is corrupted and doomed to roam the decaying streets, attacking others who try to explore the place. Grace braves the danger anyway, but what he finds not only dashes his hopes, but also saps his will to live. By the time we find him, he has succumbed to the mist, but not before leaving one final note. The prosperity of the Befarian divines was built on something too disturbing to name. Whatever it was, it made their fall inevitable, and the rise of the void mist unstoppable. And, since modern humans rely on that same technology, Grace believes the future of mankind is no longer worth seeing. In the opening scene of the game, your character is shown exploring an unknown underwater area. A voice comes over some sort of communicator. It refers to you as Subject 71 and says you have reached the target's core. The owner of the voice is clearly excited. They believe that this time they have succeeded. A second voice comes in and tells you that the secret to breaking free from civilization's limits lies right before you. However, looking ahead, you see a thick concentration of void mist. It pulses. You try to reach the core. You remember nothing beyond that point. This limit to civilization, I believe, is the same thing that destroyed the Befarian city that Grace explored. This would make your character a Befarian, or someone working for them. The title, Subject 71, does not suggest a particularly high rank, after all. This seems supported by your outfit, which has designs similar to those seen on Befarian golems. Somewhere in between trying to reach the core and now, however, that outfit was disposed of by Airona. You make your way downstairs to meet her as she works out how best to scam you out of all of your money.
まず、有り金と貴重品は預かるわね。
Our introduction to Airona paints her as a hapless schemer. Someone who puts more effort into trying not to work than it would have taken to just do the work in the first place. According to her story, she saved our life and is just asking for a bit of fair compensation. However, as a newcomer to this world, we don't have anything to give her. This is a bit of a problem as she was relying on fleecing us to pay down some of her past due rent. She owes 27 months worth of money to the innkeeper. He makes a small fuss over it, but once she leaves, he acknowledges that she could easily make enough to pay him back with just a few commissions if she so chose. By his estimate, she fails to do this out of sheer laziness, but the real reason is probably that she just doesn't really need to. He says that he'll turn her over to the Pioneering Bureau if she doesn't pay, but the Bureau is currently paying for Aerona's expensive luxury dining habit to the tune of over 450,000 luno a year, and likely wouldn't mind adding rent, which comes out to about 150,000 luno yearly if the rate she charged us wasn't inflated. For reasons we will learn later, Airona is essentially set for life. Her money troubles are entirely make-believe, just a way for her to feel normal despite her real status. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Before the two of us leave the inn, Airona swears on every strand of her hair that she will help us learn more luno than anyone else in town. She does not seem to notice the irony of the brokest person in town making such a promise. Her plan is to attend the ongoing Seabreeze Festival and win all of the events. We won't go into details on that, but I do want to point out the way that people talk about her. First, we meet Gerard, who refers to her first as Lady Airona, then is the legendary Lady Airona, and finally, as the pride of the Pioneer Bureau, legendary adventurer and shining star of Asterleeds, the great Lady Airona. The lady in question takes this flattery in stride and insists that she wants to keep a low profile. She bids Gerard to keep her participation in the events a secret. The necessity of this secret is why she needs us to come with her in the first place. By letting us do all of the work, she avoids calling too much attention to herself. When we ask Airona about these titles, she dismisses them as being just a bit of a reputation due to past events. She claims that fame doesn't put food on the table, but as we learn later, her fame is literally putting the most expensive food in town on her table. She also says that maintaining her beautiful hair takes resources, which is honestly fair. As we move through the festival, every other citizen recognizes Airona, though she pretends to simply be cosplaying herself, a deception that would immediately break if she displayed her skills. She says that if she did that, you would both end up getting arrested for disturbing the peace. At the beauty shop, Magic Tony says that Airona resembles a certain well-known figure. Didar says she looks just like the famous Lady Airona and adds that he's seen several other Airona impersonators during the festival. Narulu also pegs her as a Lady Airona cosplayer as soon as he sees her. After winning every festival event, we take on a commission to clear some unspecified danger from the Asteria Plains. Airona knew about the commission already, but didn't take it on by herself, likely because it would have required her to show off her skills and further increase her unwanted reputation. As usual, she makes you do all the fighting, but she remarks that there's something oddly familiar about your technique. This will be important later. But now, chaos breaks out on the plains. Airona immediately drops the act and switches to protector mode. As citizens flee past the two of you, she yells for them to watch their steps and assures them they'll be safe once they reach town, then calls out that there are casualties ahead. The two of you quickly tend to the injured. Airona asks them what happened, and one rambles on about monsters, a black mist, and a snowman. Here, her guard slips. She is clearly rattled by something he just said, but she quickly composes herself and diffuses the situation with a joke before dragging us onward to investigate the cause. There's no sign of Airona the lazy anymore. She's not waiting for us to do all the work either. We quickly find the snowman, who turns out to be Tina. Airona introduces her as someone whose popularity in the city is worth its weight in Luno, further reinforcing the fact that fame does put food on the table. She also recognizes the dark mist at a glance. It's Void Ingram, the same corrupted substance that killed Grace in the first bit of story we talked about. The inevitable end of Befarian civilization and the copycat human civilization of today. Airona plans to investigate immediately, but asks if we want to wait for her at the inn since it's going to be dangerous. The time for being humble is over. She has a city to protect. But even now, she still deflects with comments about Luno and tries to avoid giving away just how concerned she is. The three of us eventually reach a cave which is practically filled with Void Ingram. As if to illustrate the danger, we immediately come into contact with the stuff, which causes our essence to begin to disappear. Everything we know about Void Ingram suggests that we should soon die and be resurrected as a corrupted phantom like Grace. But Airona steps in and uses some kind of healing art to counteract the scourge. She is not only familiar with Void Ingram, but can even treat it to some degree. Tina can hardly believe the speed of our recovery, but Airona quickly shrugs off the feat as being due to our exceptional healing capacity. There is some truth to this. When other people are stricken with Void Ingram, Airona is unable to completely heal them. We'll go into why we're an exception later. Airona adds that she's never let anyone die on her watch, an oddly grandiose claim for a supposedly lazy adventurer. We move deeper into the cave and find a man in black nursing a giant flame of Void Ingram. This is far beyond the scope of anything we've seen so far and surprises Tina, but Airona dismisses it as mere coward's tricks. She destroys most of the flame with a blast of energy. Once the man has been defeated, he addresses everyone in our party individually. He seems to know Airona. He calls her one granted eternity and wisdom. Among the chatter in town about the legendary Lady Airona, there is a rumor that she has maintained her beauty throughout the ages. While she is rarely seen, there are those that claim that she looks exactly as she did when she carved out her legend many, many years ago. When they call her legendary, they aren't just referring to her power. She is, in a literal sense, a legend, a character from stories so old that no one remembers the real details anymore. A character old enough, perhaps, to have seen the fall of the Befarian divines. The eternal catastrophe draws near. Awaken, bearer of the resonance power. Remember the revelation of salvation and bear the power of all beings to stop the end of the world. Lamond, the resident old guy of Asterleeds, believes that we are the prophesied bearer of resonance power. Airona agrees. After a run-in with the man in black where his Void Ingram fails to affect us, and another incident where we manage to dispel Void Ingram from Tina, she tells us that we have a kind of resonance power that she has never seen before. The source of this power is likely the core we were approaching in the opening cutscene. If Airona did witness the fall of the Befarian divines, then she surely recognizes the importance of this power. She may even recognize that we are related to the Befarians due to the clothes she took the liberty of discarding when she rescued us. If she does, then she must have known we couldn't possibly have had any money to give her, which would mean the entire scam was just a way to attach herself to us without raising suspicion. It's probably not a coincidence that she was a mentor to Overa, who watches over Tina, and is now helping a new, legendary protector of Asterleeds come into their own. Someone who has been gifted eternity and wisdom is likely to know the prophecy Lamon mentions. She may even have been around when it was first given. It's too early to say what Aerona's role in the story will be, but I feel safe in saying that it will be significant. She's related to the Befarian divines if she isn't one herself, and she has been protecting Asterleeds for longer than anyone can remember. Her knowledge of Void Ingram is extensive, and we're facing a foe that specializes in using it. Whenever anything important happens in this town, you can find her in the background, making sure everything goes smoothly while avoiding taking too much credit. As she says, Asterleeds feels like the sort of town where you can find whatever it is you're looking for. And if she's looking for the person destined to save the world from otherwise unavoidable destruction, her wait may finally be over. Hey, I know it's a bit early to start making lore videos, but the limited information means I actually keep them under an hour long, which is very good for me. I had to rely on several other people to get footage for this video as my early footage did not work out, and I have links to their channels in the description. I am extremely thankful for their permission to use their footage. This would not have been possible without them. I will definitely be making more lore videos. While the presentation of the main story is not great right now, the deep lore is solid and I enjoy digging into it. Maybe I'll talk about Tina next. Who knows? Whatever the topic is. I'll see you next time.